We're into the draft, though, for game number 1. Cloud9 on the blue side for the first, CLG over on the red. And there's a Jax ban away from Darshan and a Malzahar ban away from Jensen. So already the big carries with targets on their foreheads.
Makes a lot of sense. Darshan, Jax has been a champion he probably has looked best on. That's the game they took off of Immortals when he played that. Malzahar is really rising in priority ever since it's kind of players are really realizing just how strong it is. Jensen with a pentakill on Malzahar yesterday. Rise taken away from Huhi, his best champion. So very intelligent ban so far.
Yep, and there's Shen actually following. So another top lane ban, this time away from Impact on the CLG side. Been a really rock-solid top laner in Impact. He's always been that team player in the top lane. Makes sense to take away one of the best tanks and one of the best utility top laners.
Yeah, another one that people have really been focusing against C9 is Trundle, because that is something that Impact really likes, has a strong laning phase, kind of fits his style. So interesting to see the Shen takeaway over that. We'll see if the last ban is going to be Trundle or if they're going to focus elsewhere, because a lot of teams do like to focus a lot on Jensen too, and Vladimir gets taken away.
Yep, Azir gets taken by C9, so there's the focus on the mid lane, but it was on the Cloud9 side. Vlad, though, of course, another mid lane ban like you mentioned, so as always, lots of mid laners taken out of the pool, so very open here for Cloud9 on pick 1.
And Rek'Sai's up, Meteos loves it. That's going to be my guess for first pick. Obviously, there are other options, Sivir, Karma, etc. Lots of high priority champs are available, but Rek'Sai's just so solid, and Meteos is fantastic at it. Expecting that first round for C9.
Looks like they're going to take their time with the pick, though. 30 seconds left for Cloud9 to lock this all in. Plenty to talk about, of course, because it's a big match for both these teams. The Trundle that's also open could maybe be the pick here for Impact if it feels like taking a blind, but Cloud9, like you said, there's plenty open. I think it's less about what are they getting here for first pick and more what are they giving CLG on the next rotation.
Yeah, for sure. And taking all this time, as you call it, Trundle first pick, sometimes you can know exactly what you want first round, but you're just taking the full time because you want to talk through, hey, what could they do? And if they do that, what do we do next? You're just talking through the whole draft, seeing what you can figure out. So getting Impact on that comfort champion, high priority here for C9. Will CLG look to take away the Rek'Sai from Meteos?
Quite possibly. Seems like a pretty good time to take it away. Xmithie, of course, has a pretty wide pool of champions he can actually draw from. It feels like he's always up to date with what's happening in the jungle meta. Meteos did have some good-looking Gragas games yesterday, so I feel like he's got other picks as well, but we'll see what CLG decide to take here. I imagine they'll play it safe. Karma's also open if Aphromoo wants to take more of a defensive support, but plenty of options here for CLG.
Yeah, it seemed, based on yesterday, there was not a huge priority on Karma for CLG. They like getting Aphro on the playmakers. I think it makes a lot of sense just based on where the team is finding success. It's often off of picks created by Aphromoo on the Bard, on the Thresh, on the Morgana, these sorts of champions. So they're going to take away Sivir. This at least denies the Sivir-Karma combo, so even if you don't want Karma, you take half of that combo away. That's kind of the S-tier bot lane right now, and Gragas taken away from Meteos.
Yep, I like the Gragas pick here from Xmithie. We kind of talked about Xmithie and Aphro being the big playmakers so far for CLG. Makes sense to give them the playmaking champions, but we'll see if Meteos just decides, you know what, I was happy to give it up. Now I can just take the Rek'Sai if it's fairly safe, or if they have other things they want to maybe take up. Maybe they just give Smoothie the Karma that he's played time and time again. There's a lot of push and pull in this draft, actually.
Yeah, as the meta becomes more diverse as far as especially jungle picks, people are kind of having a lot of comfortability playing different things. You can see Elise, you can see Nidalee, you can see Gragas, you can see Rek'Sai. There's a lot of different options, and it opens things up a lot for the draft, but a powerful bot lane duo picked up here by C9, they will look to bully.
Yeah, Lucian and Karma. I mean, Karma we probably expected from Smoothie, but Sneaky going to go away from the utility AD carries. Has Jhin bans against him in recent weeks, so kind of curious to see him go, you know what? I just want to try and kill Stixxay today.
And one thing to note, yesterday this was actually drafted by C9 against Apex. I expected them to really kind of smash bot lane. They were against Ashe Alistar. They did not have the kind of success you would really think they would with this bot lane. They went even, was a little bit of a letdown. They did great in other lanes, but in this one in particular, they struggled to kind of find the success that you may expect. So we'll see if they can carve out that advantage for themselves this time.
Well, it looks like we're going to save mid lane for last here. Thresh for Aphromoo and Gnar for Darshan. Going to more of a tank pick there in the top lane versus the Trundle.
Yeah, and playmaker for Aphro. Definitely a big playmaker. Excited to see how he's going to be able to perform on Thresh. A lot of roaming capability there. You obviously have the safety of the Lantern always. So some good engage, some good disengage as well from the Thresh. And Gnar has been actually the most popular top lane pick in this new patch with kind of the Aurelia's priority going down a bit. Darshan is going to be able to try to kite around on impact and stuff, but it is one of those matchups where it can be a lot about skill, just based on how the Trundle is able to use his pillar. If you can interrupt the Gnar hop, you can land that pillar on that to stop him. You can chase him down and sometimes just overtake him and kill him off. So Darshan will have to be careful about that, but at the same time, if you get Cleaver, if you get that Frozen Mallet, you can kite this guy out and really punish him.
Ooh, I like it. Cloud9. Meteor's actually going to go away from Rex. I want something more aggressive, and Talia, she's back.
She is definitely back, and we have been seeing Jensen and Bjergsen especially crushing on this champion. Looks so good when it's played well.
Well, we'll see who he wants, because kind of needs a big damage mid laner. Maybe goes back to the Aurelion Sol. Crowd seems to be happy about it.
Yeah, he has looked really good when he has played it, but it's not. Oh, okay. Last second swap to Cassiopeia.
I said it. High damage mid laner, who he delivers with the Cassio as the final pick there for CLG in the draft. Certainly don't want to stand under the wrong spots versus Talia, but Hui, if you can get going, Cassiopeia does monumental amounts of DPS.
Really does, and being able to deny the dashes from Lucian, as well as even just the Q execute from Elise, that can be pretty annoying to deal with. We'll see how they're going to be able to perform. A lot of roaming potential, a lot of early aggressive potential from C9 here with the Elise, with the Talia, and very powerful lanes.
Well, definitely curious to see how game one works out, because this draft is really exciting between these two. I will say CLG, I think they've defaulted back to more of the current metagame. Darshan more of a tank pick, Hui more of a carry. This is that shift of power we talked about in CLG. They've talked about it themselves. They're trying to kind of fit more with what's happening in current league. Hasn't been that successful for them, but they're certainly drafted to play that way in game one, and pulling it up against Cloud9 will be very impressive indeed, at least for the first game.
Yeah, and Cass is such a powerful team fighter. You do so much damage in those straight up 5v5 team fights if you can stay alive. Talia is much more about making plays, getting odd man fights, cutting people off. So we'll see if Jensen can do that, or if Cassiopeia can stay safe and really pound through this front line.
Well, we know both these teams have big fan bases, so now's the chance to show which team gets more love from their supporters on Twitter. Use the hashtag C9win or the hashtag CLGwin to show your colors. But the crowd is hyped. They were screaming while we were setting up, it felt like.
Yeah, they are super hyped. I don't blame them. We got some great games today, and we are going to be starting the first one off.
I'm very excited to see how this one works out. Game one, C9 CLG. Let's do it, because this is an important one for these two teams. Cloud9 trying to retain their spot in the top four, and CLG maybe trying to crack through. This is the first start for both these teams, as Jensen's going to surf his way out of the base there on Talia. Going to get that champion played one more time for himself. Had a great go on it before. Curious to see how he does here in this game.
Yeah, C9 has a chance to kind of get the edge over Liquid in the standings today. They both won yesterday on 8 wins. And we'll see. Whoa, Smithy's going for some sneaky shenanigans. They've stuck around. They actually did this yesterday, and they were able to get a first blood against Immortals with this. So they're going to come around behind Jensen. Jensen will not expect it.
Belly button in there as well! Who's going to follow in with the damage? Jensen's just dead. There's first blood.
So smart by CLG. They pulled this off the other day against Huni. They have been doing some very creative jungle pathing, using the body slam, getting in for the flank. The flash hook is nailed by Afromu. Wow. What a start.
Blind as well. Like, Smithy just knew. He reached out into the aether and just felt Jensen's presence, and he got bopped. So watch this one again.
And here it is. Jensen has no idea this is coming. Body slam flash hook from Afro. Then they give it over to Stixay. I think who he might have wanted it. He ignited, but that's okay.
It'll have to do there. And it did get a bit of vision, of course. Afro able to cover, but Jensen just standing in a predictable spot. Good preparation from CLG. Gets them a kill. We'll see if that helps there in that lane, but it looks like we are going to have standard lanes, actually, which is even more exciting as we have a quick look down at the Keystone Masteries. Nothing too crazy going on just yet.
And it can be problematic, honestly, for C9. We talked about, hey, this is a great aggressive lane. Well, guess what? Their ADC Harry gets to start with 2 pots and a longsword. It's like a huge advantage, so a lot of that kind of edge in the matchup is already knocked away.
Well, you can see Jensen, great harass under who he pretty much hit him with every single hit of the threaded volley before, and now autoing him under turret. We expect Talia to play aggressive in the early levels especially. We'll keep an eye on that matchup later, but Sticks a good spell shield, but poke there from Smoothie going to follow in. That early longsword could make for a pretty explosive bottom lane, but Sneaky and Smoothie trying to assert early dominance.
Yeah, they're looking good. They're going to have to be really careful. If you get caught by those hooks, can be bad. Ooh, an Impact could be taking some damage here.
Being zoned off a little bit. Minina getting pretty angry, but isn't going to transform just yet. Darshan trying to stay in range for him as long as possible to get some harass down. Smoothie, in the meantime, just wards up that blue buff. Does get spotted by the Wolf Spirit, but decent information there from Cloud9. It's a late blue buff attempt here from Xmithy, but I doubt he'll get it taken away. It's just a bit of extra info for Cloud9.
It's one of the advantages you get when you have the shove in bot lane. They push in faster, they get that aggressive ward in, and now they have the tracking on Smithy. This allows Meteos to make his move with confidence, knowing where the CLG jungler is going to be.
And it looks like Meteos for now, actually on the left-hand side of the jungle, might be making a beeline for the red buff. We'll have to see as the vote is in. Cloud9 support is currently the loudest. Don't forget you can update your vote.
Almost 70%.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Mate, they must have not seen the first blood then. Oh, here comes second blood perhaps. Meteos going in. Impact in a flash for over Darshan, trying to get aggressive. Meteos comes back down. Darshan trying to flip away. Oh my god, he traded.
Darshan with the outplay, and Impact is the one who blows his flash. Darshan doesn't even use a summoner there. Gets the kill. Fantastic play from the CLG top lane.
Well, we're not done yet. Xmithy now going to make another gank known in the mid lane. Jensen has all his summoners, but who is going to lock him down into the ground? Miasma making things tricky, but Jensen sniffs that one out and walks away.
Yeah, one good thing for Jensen, he didn't blow his summoners on that first blood, so he got the flash.
Safe for now, perhaps, but Xmithy can always go for a revisit. In fact, he's already back. Jensen hugging the left-hand side, but he has to, a little too far forward, actually. Hui with some damage. Jensen going to fire back, but I think he, suspects Xmithy's back again. Gonna have to walk the long way around. Meteos trying to bait, but not happening this time. Sneaking in with some pokes. Stixxay with a nice spell shield play back from Afro. Damage there. Smithy gets hooked. Snare's already down. Stixxay gonna take additional damage. Sneaky trying to weave a few more auto attacks in. And Afro moves, taking a lot of damage. Support's getting low. Stixxay going back in. Heal burn by Cloud9. There's just action everywhere.
Very close trades there. Karma has to be so careful when getting hooked. The heal comes out. And we have the replay here. Darshan knows there's no way out, so he goes in. He lands double passive procs there and is able to take down Impact. So well done. And in the bot lane, you know, that first blood advantage for Stixxay is definitely helping them out a lot. If he didn't have the extra potion, if he didn't have the longsword, they'd probably be a lot worse for wear.
Yeah, as it is, CS just nice and even, so we'll keep tracking the matchup. Although right now, Sneaky and Smoothie have the wave pushed up, so that's a decent spot for them. Early trackers knives out for both junglers, so Xmithy and Meteos can look to get that vision down. And the Fade almost completed for Darshan's maybe the big news there. He did teleport back to lane. Impact is yet to shop yet. But that one kill is definitely going to help Nara along, and he's already got a decent CS lead in the matchup.
Yeah, a really big one, honestly. He's doing pretty well for himself, thankfully for Impact. Wave pushing his way. Going to be able to pick up some of that farm and look for Talia once she gets 6. She's going to make her move, or potentially can.
Level 5 right now for Jensen, so getting close. Does have the exhaust to potentially impact the gank as well, although Xmithy looking for top lane again here to try and take down Impact. Darshan already had one kill. Xmithy's going to wrap around the back and see if he can't go for a turret dive perhaps. No, just some vision down. Does get spotted by the Wolf Spirit.
Yeah, wants to get that deep vision, protect his top laner, because Darshan is pretty far up there, so you get the River Ward, you ward up the Gromp. It's going to allow him to be feeling very, very safe. Even a pink ward drop. So Smithy is really protecting Darshan. They know they have the early lead. They don't want to throw it away with Meteos.
Oh, good ulti from Hui. Gets him out of the tower. Jensen taking damage, and that's just an outplay.
He got absolutely smashed there. He got stunned under the turret. No chance to get out, and Jensen gets too far forward. Big star here for CLG.
That was just a great solo play from Hui. Not what we're used to seeing on that side, but expertly played as Jensen's just too far here.
Yeah, he sees the wave is about to die. Hui nails the ultimate, and Jensen's just way too far forward. That's 2 turret shots, cannot afford to take it. Uncharacteristic error there from Jensen. Way too far up. Same thing happened to him yesterday against Keen. Got solo kill, but Darshan going for the outplay top.
Huge damage in the top lane. Impact forced to burn the ultimate. Darshan still fighting, but Impact is bleeding low.
It's a close one, and Darshan has him pretty low. Trundle, great sustain champion, though, and the double Doran's items. It's kind of the welfare build here for Impact. He knows he's in the struggle, and is going to be building for that early game, trying to stay alive. Darshan doing well, though.
Yeah, Darshan actually going back, so it might have some items completed. As I imagine the Phage is pretty close. It's actually going for the Jerome's Fist first, so a little different to start things off. No Phage just yet, so maybe delaying that cleaver for a little while.
Yeah, may just go straight into that Frozen Mallet. That's what it's looking like. Gives you a lot of ability to kind of kite out your opponent and just keep Trundle off of you, and it's very, very frustrating to deal with for any melee champion. Smithy doing a little bit of counter jungling, going to pick up a camp, and we'll see where his next path is going to lead him. A lot of C9 pings are on that side of the jungle. They know where he is, and they saw him go over the red, so they may look for the collapse. They're coming.
Yep, Sneaky's already here. Smoothie actually up as well. Like Smithy does have everything available, but already taking damage. Lantern's there! Afromu going to make sure he gets out.
Nice play by Afro, keeps Smithy safe, but a good collapse all the same from C9.
Smart from Sneaky, just dashes out of the way. Afromu looks for a hook, does not find it. And Sneaky and Smoothie will continue farming here. BF Sword actually picked up from Stick, saying now that he's gone back. Sneaky with that serrated Zerk and a long sword looking for that early ghost play, but Sivir again keeping up in CS from that early first blood.
Yeah, even up 10, so a nice advantage here for CLG. All their lanes are honestly looking really good. Solo kill in the mid lane for Hui. Darshan has the advantage top lane. They have an advantage bot lane. Smithy even is up a little bit in farm in the jungle, although a kill did go over to Meteos, so still things looking really good so far for CLG.
And there's blue buff for Hui. Jensen actually already picked his up. He's trying to leave this lane. Shove it out as best he can. Actually gets a nice combo down and obliterates that full minion wave, but can't really leave without getting spotted. Clears out the rest of the wave and maybe looks to roam top, but does have a bit of coverage. Gonna hit the recall button instead.
Smartly backing on that pink. Even just that little move means Darshan has to at least think about the possibility of the roam, have to be a little bit more careful. So always going to make those small moves. Try to get an edge.
Looks like Jensen could look for a roam. Hasn't been able to leave the lane just yet. Hui, though, spots his pink ward. Now we'll have vision on that side of the map, so should be able to protect Darshan a little more from Jensen maybe entering his lane. Meteos and Xmithy trailing each other on the left-hand side of mid. Jensen is back, and Meteos, that's a very aggressive, actually. Pop there by Xmithy. Gonna have to rappel down, but no ultimate pull there for Gragas. Meteos gets away.
Yeah, we'll get out of there, but a nice little spot from Smithy. Keeps his mid laner safe, always in the right place so far this game, and they're going aggressive onto Darshan, pretty far up. Can Meteos get the cocoon? Smithy is coming.
Darshan actually got back into hyper, hops away, needs a little more speed, does have flash, flashes a cocoon. Meteos burns the summoners there.
Summoner trade, but a good wait by Darshan. We talked about interrupting. Oh, Jensen with the turn.
Hui goes for the big play, but Jensen gonna shove him back away. Can't afford to fight though. Hui with another aggressive attempt.
That is his flash. We're seeing Smithy coming around. He has his flash available. They're gonna look for the dive.
Gonna try and bop him. Jensen's pretty low. Gonna take out the Raptors. Jensen wants to stay for a little bit of extra farm, gets it, and has to be careful. Meteos almost there to assist. They haven't spotted Smithy just yet. CLG, do they still want this dive?
They saw him. They pinged it out. So Meteos knows he is there.
Oh.
Spiderling going to chase him out.
Yep, that forces Smithy away. So going to cover Jensen here. Hui though, still pushing up. Good flash in. But ultimate does not get him out from under the turret though, and Jensen flashes out.
Yeah, it's actually a really smart position that Jensen was standing there, right between the turret and the wall. It's very hard to hit the perfect angle to knock him backwards. So that cask actually just knocked him to the side just a little bit, and he stays in place, keeps him safe.
Yeah, trades of summoners though. Hui did burn his flash on the attempted 1v1 kill, but is not going to get it. Jensen not forced back just yet either, actually staying for another wave, expecting Hui to go back, which he is. And Xmithy going to clear away his red buff there. So lots of play between these junglers, but CLG up 3-1 in kills and 1,000 gold already. It's a nice little start to this game. You said already the lane seemed to be ahead. Stixay actually off to a flying start now in bottom lane, almost taking the turret naturally. Sneaky forced to burn the ultimate just to clear the minions out.
Yeah, down 20 CS in the 2v2. Your turret's almost dead. The C9 bot lane is getting bullied hard, and it feels like they're just kind of playing a little bit scared of Afromu. They know the potential for the all-in if Thresh is able to land these hooks, and they're having to respect it a lot.
Yeah, that early kill obviously helping as well, but we'll see how much longer Cloud9's bottom lane can stay afloat. CLG, though, continuing to play up and aggressive. There's been pretty much no jungle attention down here either. So Stixay and Afro know they can play up. Sneaky just going to tank away with a bit of help from the shield. And again, just try and keep that turret healthy for as long as possible. But in general, I think CLG playing well in their lanes, and Xmithy's making sure no one gets to leave. Jensen, he wants to affect the other lanes, but he has not been able to leave yet. In fact, he's constantly being pinned down, either 1v1 or 1v2 with Xmithy there as well.
Yeah, so much jungle attention thrown his way, and Stixay has been on point with the spell shields. This is going to be the turret going down. CLG's bot lane really doing work here so far.
We talked about Afro looking good. Stixay looking a lot better here in this first game. The duo seems to kind of have some of their fire back. Xmithy also going to start the Ocean Drake, so CLG going to look to convert not just a tower and a 2,000 gold lead, but an additional objective as well. Lantern in, hook around, whee! And that's an easy Drake for CLG.
Everything going right. Up 2K, you got your dragon, got first turret. Everything is looking very good. Jensen with the very early Swifties, and It's going to mean Huhi has so much more combat power. Jensen's going to need to make something happen with the roams if he wants to be relevant, because the completed Abyssal for Huhi means he is going to dunk on this guy if they straight up fight.
Yeah, and we've seen it already. Hui's willing to pull the trigger very quickly on any sort of kill situation. Has his Ignite back and ready as well. As Meteor still hunting around, hoping a 2v2 starts, but Smithy's not there this time. Hui's not going to walk straight into a gank. In fact, Meteor's maybe going to face check here, but just clearing that pink ward, and Sneaky's up as well, so CLG decide 2v3, not willing to contest for that ward there. They'll leave it alone for now. And Hui actually playing back as well, given that Smoothie was also off the map.
And the C9 bot lane basically just had to roam up because they're not interested in this 2v2 anymore. They know they're very far behind, and in a long lane without a turret, Sivir ulti for the engage can be terrifying. So they're just going to kind of make that roam up to mid lane, get back bot to catch the wave.
Yeah, Stixxay actually 30 CS ahead before this wave started crashing in. So a huge CS lead there, just 1 versus 1.
Meteos is here though.
Continuing to compound that objective. Smoothie eats a crit. Front end of the boomerang as well. Stixxay just poking in. Smoothie pops the shield up and keeps himself relatively safe. But now Smithy's down here. CLG might even look to make a play of C9, extend too far in that bottom lane.
So far, Smithy's been playing it very patiently. He's just basically protecting his lanes, not necessarily through ganking a ton, but from kind of just showing his face, clearing out wards, always warding deep for his teammates, and it allows them to do the work that they want to do. And so far, so good. Darshan.
Yeah, in again. Impact actually forced to burn the pillar. Darshan flashes in. Now Meganar maybe going to flash in for it. That's a flash forced by Impact, though. Darshan wins a very good trade. Smithy, it's Cocoon, but Stixxay's here as well. CLG just going to force down mid.
And mid lane started taking a ton of damage, and it was a smart early flash from Impact. Darshan was basically kind of playing a little game of chicken, because if he flashed in and lands the Meganar ult, he will just kill Impact. So Impact had to flash early, couldn't risk it.
Well, a positive trade certainly for Darshan as Jensen goes ahead and gets his blue buff. Done a decent job protecting CLG's little shove into the mid lane. Plenty of wave click here on Talia, so Jensen just going to completely smash that wave. But again, he's been anchored here to the mid lane, who he's still up in CS and now going back for a next item. C9 kind of forced to play back here. It's not usually the style we see from them. They like to be very active around the map, but CLG doing a nice job containing them so far. It's still up as Darshan's also finished his Frozen Mallet. So those trades, especially with no flash, only going to start getting worse for Impact, and as a result, Cloud9 have actually swapped their lanes upside down here.
Yeah, they're going to try to give Impact the freeze in the bot lane, move up top, see if they can't get some pressure on this turret for themselves, and especially with the Frozen Mallet done, it's going to be tough for Impact. You have Swifties down on Darshan, he's going to be so fast, and he's going to be kiting you around with those slows non-stop, but CLG is up here in the top lane.
Pretty quick answer. Stixxay has a completed item, actually. Essence Reaver done, although Ghostblade there for Sneaky isn't too bad for Lucian either. Cloud9 actually, I think, just trying to break up the laning phase more than anything else, because it's been sort of a rough time. But no luck just yet here, as Darshan's going to go back down to meet Impact 1v1. And Jensen does have an item built up now. Morello Nomicon finished is nice, but still stuck here in mid lane.
It was just such a tough start for C9, because a lot of their lanes kind of got screwed over by this. And Sneaky is dueling up here very aggressively.
Yeah, Stixxay just stands his ground. Almost takes out Sneaky. Cena had an extra, but Darshan now going to slow Impact. And I don't think he's got anywhere good to run. No flash left available. Now Mega going to slam him into the wall. Talia's trying to save him out. Darshan gets him. And now over the wall. Darshan escapes.
Darshan in the long lane chasing him down. Another kill for the CLG top laner. He is doing great. Things are going a little bit bad to worse, as that's the first time we've seen the Talia ultimate. Gets nothing. Top laner dies 1v1. Feeling like there's a little bit of no escape here for C9, as they're even forced to back off the turret in top, and this may be going down.
Yes, Stixxay should be able to get this. That's 2 turrets to 0 now. Lantern gets him out safely. Afro, as always, with the exit. And Jensen's getting 1v1 again.
Both summoners committed there by Huhi. Jensen stays alive, but just barely, and this is going to mean even more damage there on the mid lane turret.
Yeah, Huhi actually, no help just yet, but might be able to get it if someone comes to assist him. Waiting for a minion wave here, but great damage already under that turret. Darshan actually hoping Jensen had stayed, but Jensen does not take the bait. Xmithy actually on top of a pink ward. They're ready to collapse.
They certainly are. They're setting up the dive. That gets warded out. At least Afro has been discovered. They see Stixxay moving in, so they know this is going to happen. But Meteos, has to pull a flash, and that means mid lane tier 2.
Great hook by Afro, yeah. I mean, they're probably going to get it anyway, but getting a free summoner is nice as well. CLG up 3 turrets to 0, 4 kills to 1. Ocean Drake in their back pocket with the next one in 55 seconds. and a pretty substantial gold lead at this stage of the game. 17.5 minutes in, they're 3,500 gold up. Their laners are getting solo kills. Things are feeling pretty good.
He needs to be careful here.
Yeah, Smoothie here to defend. Stixxay burns the ultimate, but they won't rush in. Can't see anyone else.
Yeah, they don't know where Meteos is. Otherwise, they could have taken that 2v2, I think, very easily. And Meteos now did get spotted out entering the jungle. Afro is behind Stixxay. They're just going to push out the wave and try to base. But if they could stop Stixxay's back, not going to happen.
Yeah, they can't. Jensen, I think, also motioning to that top side, but couldn't make it. CLG's bottom lane escape. Darshan goes back. Now he's got the Phage in the Swifties, so Impact's plan of running away is getting less and less feasible as the game moves on.
Yeah, even more move speed, going to get that Black Cleaver. Titanic Hydra done for Impact, and has done a really good job farming, honestly. Up a couple CS in the fact that he has had these disadvantageous trades and has gotten killed. So he's at least staying relevant in that regard, but Sneaky very behind. 2 items done for Stixxay. And the mid lane matchup looking pretty rough. C9 really needs to try to get aggressive, make some plays with the Taliyah, but it's just not happening, and CLG is on top of things. They're always having deep vision. They're being very safe.
Yeah, they've had great movement around the map. They'll get themselves a second Ocean Drake for their efforts. Smithy even goes back over into Cloud9's jungle looking for this red buff. Cloud9 just really don't own any aspect of Summoner's Rift. Impact does spot him with a pillar, but I don't think it's going to stop him. Cloud9, though, looking for a tower. Finally grab one, but it's the top lane out and they committed 3 for it. They might lose something here.
They can defend bot lane tier 2. That will be good for them. They may even just try to trade tier 2s if they can actually make that happen, because they're really willing to take whatever trade they can get at this point. Tier 2 going to be going down for sure for them, and now the question comes, can they dive Darshan? Meteos is kind of hovering around topside, looking to perhaps at least force him off, and if they can get this trade, it's good for them, but now it's the inhibitor turret that's going to be under threat.
Yeah, Impact cannot stay, and CLG are winning this race. Impact going to try and slow them down, but it's just going to get hooked for him. Might even get killed here as Jensen's made his way down. Blocks him up for the wall. Stixxay forced to flash out of the way. Afro, though, taking turret aggro. The CLG want to go back in. Cloud9 with a successful defense so far.
Yeah, they're low, though, and this is looking like it may go down. The bases are coming in from the Cloud9 duo.
Oh, Jensen doesn't get hooked. Afro gets shoved out of the way, and the angle's not quite there. Almost gets himself killed as a result.
So close to being a disaster for C9. If Impact and Jensen went down there, it would have been the base gets cracked open. But in the end, it is that 2-for-2 turret trade, so not bad for C9. Obviously, some more damage done to that inhibitor turret. We'll start to regen, so not the end of the world.
Yeah, nice trade there from Cloud9, getting much-needed gold back in their favor. Gold lead is still pretty much the same, but Cloud9 at least get some gold now, which is probably going to matter, given that CLG's pace has been pretty quick so far. Jensen clears out a wave, going to go try and get his blue buff. But CLG are only getting stronger, and this mid-game is shaping up to be very CLG favored.
Yeah, I like the late game more for CLG too, with Cass and Stixxay on the Sivir. I think that their late game team fighting is going to be more powerful. It's really going to be up to C9 to get the picks with Cocoons, with the Taliyah, and these speed ups.
Well, CLG continue to move through Cloud9's jungle. Darshan pressuring up as well. Looks like
Five-man squad.
Top lane tier 2's on the menu. Sneaky trying to trade in the bottom lane with that Lucian. But Smithy just doing damage here. CLG going to start aggressing onto this turret. And should be able to take it down so far. No one from Cloud9 coming just yet. And Impact forced to defend by himself. He's doing what he can with the Titanic Hydra cleave, but maybe not enough.
Smithy coming around, who he is well. They may want to dive.
Darshan got Cocoon, very nicely played. Ulti doesn't get it, but he tags Smoothie and Impact on the end with a gnaw. Now Impact caught out position, is going to get himself Blade, who is going to join his way in from the Lantern, and that's 2 kills for CLG.
2 for 0. Dare they go over to Baron? They do have Cassiopeia very early in the game. Would be super risky. Not going to decide to do it. Darshan wants to base, and see if Sneaky can actually get this turret. They are going to go for it. Yeah, well, so he's just actually going to base for more HP, and they're going to make the risky call. Meteos needs to come over. They need to contest.
Oh, Meteos got caught! Ulti from Hui! Repels out of the way, and Hui's going to try and shut him down. Doesn't quite get the miasma down, but Meteos pretty much had whatever he wanted there. Jensen, though, going to come to his rescue. But CLG, they're going to get Baron off this, I think.
Yeah, it's looking like it's gone. No way for Meteos to get there. The clean Baron from CLG, and they are looking dominant. Up 6K. And it's all off of this. Sneaky's trying to trade, gets the turret, but in comes the flash from Smithy. Nice repel, though, from Meteos, avoids it. And Darshan has been huge this game. Nails the ultimate, gets the wall up on both, and good CC chain nets them not only those kills, but the tier 2 and the Baron.
Yeah, and Sneaky did get a trade. He got the bottom outer turret, so a bit of extra gold for Cloud9, but Baron over to CLG, a bunch more gold in their pockets as well. And split push Sneaky, starting to become, I'm going to say, a worrying trend for Cloud9, because he's constantly in a side wave just trying to catch up, and his team's losing trades because of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those situations where they're basically feeling like, hey, we can't fight anyway, so there's no point in you being here. Go get whatever you can. But it is a worrying trend, the fact that they can't actually defend on either side. They're not getting as much in the trades, and now with the Baron, it's only looking like it's going to go from bad to worse as CLG wants to take the last remaining outer. Very low here. Can C9 defend?
Well, Darshan might even be charging up some rage for a potential tower dive. There's a lot of threat in the CLG lineup as far as both front and backside initiation. Hui again burns a flash in. It's going to rush for it. Impact zones him out of the way, but the turret's dead. CLG with plenty of cooldowns left to play with.
Yeah, and Jensen took a fair bit of damage there. He's down to half. A little bit of poke onto Sneaky, so Summoner ulti burned from Cassiopeia. CLG will back off as that is down, and Meganar going to be gone pretty soon too. Hui
just not afraid to pull the trigger. I think he's used his flash on cooldown pretty much whenever he's
Sneaky
at the Oh, Sneaky! Not away as he tries to dash out, and Darshan on a killing spree as he takes him out.
Yeah, he dash flash, just get pulled back by Darshan. You're not going anywhere, Sneaky. And CLG look to break the base.
Yeah, that's going to crack it here by the looks of things. Cloud9 4v5 can't really defend. Hui in the middle of the base going to take up Meteor solo. Meteos again, down, shield's good, but the poison's still ticking down. Does fall down, Afro flashes in, takes out Smoothie, there's the bomb back, playing onto Impact, that'll force the flash, but Darshan straight into the enemy team. Impact is dead as Nug gets a double, and CLG are going nuts.
We're 24 minutes into the game, they're diving the Nexus turrets, what's happening?
Well, new CLG, apparently they're gonna get the mid inhib as well, and this gold lead is absolutely ridiculous. Cloud9 battered, bruised, and real down at this point.
And Cloud Drake spawning in 20. CLG has more than enough time to base and head over there if they do so want. They can pick up the top lane, and this is how it starts. Smithy saw Sneaky going into that push, and he's going to get the ulti back in. And look at this, Sneaky flashing out, gets pulled right back into the stun. That is a tilter.
Certainly is. And then unfortunately it only gets to us as Hui goes big again in the base.
Yeah, Hui pushing in. CLG knows they have the advantage. Meteos on the side. No chance for him to get out. He already had to pull his flash last time, moving over to the Baron, where he got caught, and the poison's going to be more than enough. Then CLG's Afro move flashing in, nails the hook, and Impact cannot get out, even with the flash chase down, slowed up by Darshan. And play after play being made by CLG. They almost have a 10,000 gold lead.
Yeah, awfully close to just trying to end the game, and this final push could do it. Baron, I think on for a little while longer, may have just dropped off in the replay. So it won't have that for this push, but might not need it given how far ahead they are. And if they really want it, there'll be a Drake in a couple minutes, but I'm not sure we're going to make it.
They're pushing in the mid lane. They're rotating down to bot. CLG is looking so good. They do want to wait a little bit, though. Darshan has to get the top lane shoved in. Does not have TP yet.
Yep. Up very soon, though, so it shouldn't be too much longer.
Yep.
CLG able to play patient. Jensen busy mid lane, clearing out the super minions that are pushing in. Sticks there with a Lantern. Good little poke onto the turret. CLG can rinse, repeat. Darshan getting things moving in the top lane. This is a tricky defense for C9.
Love a little combo from Afro and Stixay, honestly. Just send him in, have Lantern to pull him out. They have double Water Dragon, so they can actually just regen that back up over and over and over and just rinse, repeat until this turret goes down. Going to be hard for C9 to answer. Are they going to go for it again? Yep, same trick.
I mean, he's got Spell Shield. Like, what is he really afraid of? Just hits it, starts hitting the turret. While they're trying to block them off, but Jensen doesn't get it. Darshan slowed up, gets shoved back in. Now has to flash out of the way. Ulti in, actually lands onto a couple, but not quite enough. Stixay getting low. Sneaky got aggressive in the bottom lane as well. And actually, Smithy now has to get himself over the wall. Does make it through the trees, but CLG took a little too much damage there.
They did. But the Dragon's going to start doing their work. You can see them regenning back up here. That turret, it's looking like it's theirs. It's super low, and it will go down. They're going to look for a second inhibitor.
Darshan there. Oh, big play. Smithy just nails Sneaky. And he gets another Jensen caught up. He's going to get himself killed as well. Hui with a double kill now as CLG just going off in this game.
Supers are coming in the mid lane. This could be it.
Looks like it might be. Gonna break the bottom inhib just in case, but they might not need it. Nexus turret 1 gonna start to be assaulted. Hui's gonna zone them out of the way, and their first turret going down. 25 and 35 seconds left on the other two, and I think CLG have done it here.
CLG with the near perfect game one, 12-1, 27 minutes in. A dominating performance over Cloud9.
Looking awfully good in game one, but not done yet. If that's any indicator, though, CLG could well and truly be back. Upward trend indeed.
I mean, the game started perfectly for them. They get a level 1 first blood.